Hello and welcome back to the Wyrd Wessex podcast. My name is Craig Brooks and today I've got many guests, as you can see. We have Ocean Brooks from Kiddie Vike Cooks. We have Jen from Drakos Dottir, who was on episode 2, I think, quite a while back.
Retro.
Yeah, we've got Duane is back again. And a man that needs no introduction.
I don't even know who I am. I'm Andy, hi.
No, you don't need an introduction.
You say that, but you know.
Right, Andy Stevens from the ATC, wwho you've seen on 2 episodes, I think, now.
That's Andy from Fog on the Barrow Downs, man.
Oh, right, sorry. Should we start again?
Yeah. Start drinking yet.
Right.
Cut. What?
It's all going in, love. Anyway, so the reason I've got all these people here today is because me and Ocean's mummy are about to go off to Europe. And we're going to travel up to Midgard Festival in Norway. And along the way, hopefully, try some different foods from different countries and look at the best and worst food. But before we could judge other people, we should judge ourselves. So we're going to start with the best and worst of English food, particularly not the British, because I thought we'd end up with haggis or something and I'd get a lot of shit from Scottish people.
I'm firmly for haggis being one of the
Haggis is
best, so you know.
I like
I like
haggis, but I
haggis.
figure it comes up a lot on lists. I've checked.
Well,
out
there we are.
lists,
If it
so-
did come up, we'd passed. It was fine. So we didn't need to do it. We didn't need to do it.
Good job.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we start off, because we're going to do best and worst English food, we're going to do our favourite beer or beverage and favourite sweet. But as I've got a dry throat, should we start with beer?
Always.
Yeah, sounds like a good plan.
All right. So who wants to go first? Shall we go from Jen and come this way?
So I'm cheating, Craig, because I'm not into ale. I'm so sorry.
That's fine.
I'm still drinking like a teenager. So I have
Are
to
you
have...
not a teenager anymore?
No.
What?
It's
I know.
WKD Blue, isn't it?
So it's one step up from that, in that it's a fruity cider, but one of my favourite ones at the moment. That is a blood orange cider.
Thatchers.
To be found in some pubs as well on tap.
Yeah.
So yeah, nice. Are we cracking it open then?
Crack it open.
So
Yeah. I
'cause
realised by making myself go last, I've got to wait the longest to
Yeah.
sip the beer.
I'm not really into communal vessels, so I shall pass it around like this and then take skull.
Skull it.
Friday night, innit?
I do like that. That's my go-to fruity cider when I want to drink like a teenager, so I approve.
I think that it's like
Ocean?
it
No?
tastes like
No,
squash.
you're not
Tastes like squash, doesn't
allowed.
it?
It is.
You're not allowed.
She's sticking to vodka.
Hey, this is water.
Yeah.
Water in a yellow cup. Water in a
It would go
yellow
down
cup.
very easily on a summer's day, and I
Water
think it
in
can
a
be
yellow
dangerous.
cup.
Has anyone got a knife or a bottle opener?
I'm sure.
A knife?
Or a bottle opener?
I've got both.
Can I have one or the other?
You could. I take it you're going next as you're... pass that back to
I
Jen.
can
You'll
do.
go next.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Because you stole my beer.
I got this completely independently, actually. I was going to go for honourable mention. I was going to go for
No, you don't
Ronson's
have
Brewery,
to
The
say
Trooper, because it's a really nice beer, and I'm a massive Iron Maiden fan. But instead, I've gone for a local one. This is the Cranbourne Poacher. So this is from Badger Brewery.
Yeah,
over in
I've heard of
Bradford.
them before, I think.
It's really nice. I like cooking. Have you used this for cooking?
No.
It's
too
really
good
good.
for cooking.
Oh yeah, a little bit in a stew, man. Seriously. I love poaching folklore. I love Cranbourne. It works for me. So crack this one open.
It's a good one. It's pretty strong.
I'm technically still working, I'm sure.
But I don't. Well, yeah.
I've gone with the Cranbourne Poacher, but my other option was Summer Lightning, which I think is hotback. brewery,
Yeah.
But I couldn't find any. I've got a bottle, so I'll...
Oh yeah, of course you do.
Yeah, I've got an alternative as a backup that we can swap out rather than the Poacher. So that was my choice as well, but I brought something else along. So we'll use that
Not a
instead.
fan then, Jen?
It makes me. It's very dark tasting.
I don't think you're going to like this one. Then
Right, okay, so I've gone for another local brewery. This one was just down the road from where I used to live in Southampton in Blackwater. It's the Vibrant Forest. And this one actually combines the sweet as well because it's a salted licorice stout. It's one of my favourites.
Now, I've not heard of this brewery either, so this is completely new to me.
Tiny. What? Whoa!
I think I might have tried this one before, but I do like it if it's one I remember.
They do some really, really nice
Toasted.
stouts, because I do like my beers
splashy.
black.
I actually thought you'd bring a milk stout because you're a fan of the milk stout.
The milk stouts are good. It's a little bit more palatable for most people because it's sweeter. But this one's pretty sweet anyway.
Delicious, that's what that is.
It's
You
all
didn't
right,
like it, did you?
I mean, I wouldn't have it again.
Another road review. In the van, I've actually got some Danish sweets dissolved in vodka, which is
Ooh.
properly salted licorice vodka.
Is that for the After Hours podcast? Is that
Yes. When we finish, it'll get messy.
It doesn't taste too licoricey, that one, because I don't really...
I wouldn't say it's that licoricey or
No.
salty. to be
No, I
honest.
mean, it's got a bit of an after. There's a bit of an after to it.
Yeah, yes.
It's all right though.
I like it.
Yeah, good stuff. So I swapped mine out as a last ditch because on the way here I actually went over to Cranbourne Chase cider.
Yay!
So another local one because we've gone for the Cranbourne
Nice.
Chase again. I don't know if you guys have tried this. This is Dorsecco.
No.
No.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's a keeved cider. I couldn't think of the word then, but it says it on the front, luckily. Yeah, I mean, shall I pop it? And
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
are we all into
What's
cider?
his
Obviously,
name
Jen.
over there?
Ben.
Bill.
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 That's it. Bill.
That's it, Bill.
I should know that. Sorry, Bill.
He was on a long, long time ago. We recorded it in here, and then I lost it, but we kept just the audio. Luckily, that bit saved, but the rest of it,
Oh, met his brother Bert. Bill and Bert.
don't know that.
But he's a nice lad.
Yeah, we get them along sometimes for a apple day, don't we? Here.
Yeah, I
Straight
think
out
we
the
need
roof?
to go. Go on, yeah. I'll be impressed if it goes down there.
Whee! I've just realised now I'm going to have to like neck the rest of this, aren't I?
Yeah.
Can we watch
mean-
you while you do it?
Pass it that way first, and I'll
I'm
get
gonna
this done.
swig out the bottle because I'm a classy bird.
Likewise. That's going to be interesting for you, isn't it?
Be alright. I just
Cider with cider.
Oh, I like that.
Pleasant, very pleasant drink.
What does keeved mean?
I probably should know, having had Bill on before, who's explained the whole process to me.
Oh, that's lovely.
I would recommend you go back and listen to Bill's episode because he explains everything.
I'm going to pass that back. It's very good.
That's swapped out from my Cranbourne because I would have gone for the Cranbourne as well. We'll go for a cider.
That's nice.
I think I'm going to get that.
It's
We're
nice.
filming Fog next weekend. I might have to get some of that for it.
I think it's £6 a bottle.
Nice.
Pretty reasonably priced.
I'll get a small amount for it.
Quite sort of tart apples as well, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
nice.
It's refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love the name. That is a
it's
fantastic
great,
name.
isn't it? Yeah. So, before we move on to food and stuff, and I mentioned this to you before, is we should probably go into a bit about why we're all actually here this weekend. We're here for the Dark Ages weekend, which is your group's event.
Yep. So it's a it's a Viking show. So we're going to be putting on lots of crafting and living history displays. Hopefully, we're going to get into a position where we grow it a little bit on year. We also are in a position to have a little bit of an arena, so we get a bit of combat display. We've got the use of the archery range, so we can use actually have a go archery going, and possibly do a archery display, and of course every Viking's favourite, Kiddie Vike.
Yay.
Yes.
Kiddie Vike.
The official Kiddie Vike is here.
Excellent.
You're looking forward to that one, aren't you?
Have you brought your sword? Yes. We'll get you a sword.
We've
Beware.
got a sword and an axe and a shield, actually.
Prepared. Nice.
At least if you've got your shield, you'll be able to stand out from the crowd, eh?
There is that. Yeah.
So that's my part in it. There are obviously other things going on over the weekend in this very Earth House. Now that includes storytelling, and we also have the Dark Bardess playing her Maya.
Coming up on a future episode of the podcast.
Fantastic. So yeah, we've got loads of children's activities going on. Well, not just children, for adults as well. We have. Do you want to talk a little bit about those, or? I can do it. I'm just put you on the spot.
I think you
Like
were
I say,
developing quite
the
nicely.
risk you've got here is that this will go out after the event.
Yeah. So come
So
along.
you're not
Go
dri-
back.
Come along.
Use your time machine. Go back in time to a few weeks or months before this comes out. Whatever Craig's done editing.
We hope you had a lovely time.
Yeah. Great to see you or not
It's
see
really
you,
nice to see
depending.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lovely weekend.
But we do it.
We'll
We
be
do
on
it every
next
year. And as
We
Duane
hope.
said, it's something that we grow every year. So yeah, we got the wonderful living history displays. We've got the Dark Bardess. We've got Liz, the storyteller, who's doing Norse stories in here. Well, our volunteers have a stall that Jen's going to be press ganging people into coming and joining our volunteers.
That's it.
I hear you got the Saxon Forager coming too.
We do.
Oh!
I've heard of him. I've heard of him.
I've heard he's
Yeah, there
here.
was something else.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
you.
Is it?
Yeah.
Don't
Oh.
tell them it's a disguise.
Oh, and the stuff.
Oh, and yeah, we got Stephen, Fiona Wagstaff selling. They've sort of skipped forward in time a bit because they mainly sell Romano-British stuff, but they're going to be here. Yeah, and have Troy hand at pole lathing, making cob bricks, doing some textiles, and site tours and things like that, and just learning more about these cool buildings. We need to film in different buildings, I think, in future episodes. We'll try one up in the
That's a good idea.
You've done one in the Roundhouse with
Done a
Caroline,
couple.
didn't
I
you?
did one with Ben the other week, which hasn't gone out yet. But it probably will before this. So
I tell you what else we've got. We've mobilised the WI
Yes.
into cooking a barbecue, so we know they're going to be ruthlessly efficient and wonderful in what they do, plus normal teas and cakes and stuff.
Which will mean that not as many of the public maybe will hang around looking to the Saxon Forager hoping to get like scraps of
Looking
whatever he's
hungry.
cooking. I still will, but you know.
you will, obviously. Yeah.
Always a hungry Viking.
But the next open weekend is the 23rd and the 24th of September. That is our Apple Day, which is...
Actually, I wouldn't bother with that one because I'm at the boat burning at Butser that day. So actually, people should come to Butser.
No,
to see
maybe.
me and the
Or
boat
they
burning.
do one on one day and one on the other.
No, because the boat burning's a one-day event. So they could come here on Sunday, but then you just come to
That
Butser
works.
on
That works for me, you know.
Right.
Stop
Bring
trying to steal our
apples.
customers. There's more of us.
Just bring apples.
Yes, bring apples, come and press your apples. We do have another Viking group here for that, actually, don't we?
And loads of independent stalls like craftspeople, local groups are coming from all aspects, nature's, woodworkers.
I'll try and make
Everything.
sure that this episode goes out before that.
That's all right. If
'Cause
not,
it
glad
might
to see you
not.
or sorry
Looking
we
at the-
missed you.
Looking at the current schedule, I'm like,
But
guys.
yes, there will be no
Bad
boat
news.
burning here. If anything's burnt, then it was a mistake that weekend. But sausages maybe.
Sausage.
But yeah, we'll have loads of cool stuff going on. Draka, it's Draka, isn't it? We've got
Yeah.
coming along. An independent group from Devon.
Somerset.
So yes, we've got loads going on that weekend as well. But we do the Dark Ages weekend every July. So come along to the next one if you didn't come along to this one.
So I have a controversial question, which I've already plugged to
Go on.
Duane before we started recording. Who called it the Dark Ages weekend?
It was in days of yore, before I was here, may I add. We are talking about changing the name. But
I was gonna say,
early
I don't
medieval.
personally care.
I don't
But
overly.
it's controversial to a lot of people. People
Yeah.
don't like the term Dark Ages.
Early medieval weekend doesn't sound right either, so we're going to call it something themed around Vikings and Saxons, maybe. But it's lower on our priorities. Everyone knows it as the Dark Ages weekend. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's the decision to call it that was a long time ago, back when it was an acceptable term.
So you could change that, couldn't you, as if we were talking about some kind of racist.
It does
term.
sound
I know,
like
it does-
sort
it
of
sounds a bit
like
imperial,
problematic
doesn't it?
terminology or something,
That
you
sounds a
know.
bit acceptable
colonial.
to use Dark Ages.
In my day, it was all right to say Dark Ages.
Oh no, don't tangent. Stop it.
All right, so shall we move on to food? Because
Yes.
that's mainly what we
Perhaps.
like, isn't it? So, unfortunately, because I think, should we do best or worst first, actually?
I kind of think maybe worst first.
Worst first.
Yeah.
Worst is first?
Worst is first.
Yeah,
First is
because we
first.
don't. We want to get that done. We
Get
want
that done,
better.
yeah. It's a good idea. All right, so initially after a discussion, we decided we were going to go with worst British food, or English food, sorry, my mistake there, was jellied eels. Which Andy suggested.
So-
Luckily for him, I cocked up the delivery, or I misread when the delivery is, and so they didn't arrive. So we haven't got jellied eels. So
I'm
next
glad-
best thing, deviled kidneys.
What was it they're called on toast? He's already sworn on here, you can say it.
Oh, okay, so yeah, my grandfather was a northerner. He was from Nottingham. So he had a really endearing term for them. Shit on a raft.
Couple of these. Duane. Yeah, good name. Was that deviled though, or just kidneys?
I believe it was kidneys and gravy, but
That makes
don't
more
bother me
sense.
none.
So, I mean, are we all in agreement that deviled kidneys are up there as worst food? Would be a good starting point.
Bear in mind we have eaten dog food on your podcast before. But yes, I would say that.
I would do that again. I won't eat the kidneys.
Go on.
Wow. Selling it.
Right. What do kidneys do? They process your wheat, yeah?
Okay.
That's what they smell like when you cook them. So I was all up for it this afternoon until I started cooking them, and all you can smell is.
Yeah, but what animal's wee is it? Does it make a difference?
I don't think it does. I've had different kidneys.
Wee is wee.
These are sheep ones.
Are they?
Yeah, I mean, I've got.
Oh, sheep ones.
Yeah, from the ones out there. You know, it's a sheep one that's in this
No.
afternoon.
Are they like humans? They can function with just one kidney still.
Right, I'm going to have to go get the Vikings in. So.
Oh, that's
Okay.
convenient.
Convenient. Do you really?
No, you don't. Is there?
They let themselves in.
No, because I told them to wait there.
Oh.
What if you eat a kidney first?
I'll eat a kidney first, I don't mind.
Right, we're going to eat a kidney, then we're going to eat all the sweets while Dwayne's gone because you don't like sweets. How's that?
I'll come back and I'll have the kidneys.
Well, you'll miss the best food too. Do you know what? I only bought 3 spoons
Oh
initially,
no.
which is convenient because there's 3 of you. Oh,
No. They can share a spoon.
What?
They're a couple.
There are mushrooms in there too, so make sure you don't get a kidney.
Oh, this kidney's really nice.
No, they're both kidneys.
So they're deviled kidneys. They're Worcestershire sauce, mustard, and cayenne pepper.
Right, be right back.
Did you eat a kidney? Is it really chewy?
No, seriously, I'll come
Yeah.
back for more.
That's not as bad as I thought that'd be. It just tastes meaty.
With the spices, it's okay. But
I'm getting the tiniest aftertaste of that smell you described.
that's what I get from them, and it's unpleasant. I like other offal. Like I've got
Tastes
hearts.
like pate. Is that what's in pate?
Definitely need to wash that down.
Pate is like liver and stuff, isn't it? I think.
I mean, liver processes stuff as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. You know how like
alright.
you got something that's like okay, but then the aftertaste kind of is less. But maybe that's just thinking about what it is.
No, it's like a quite pleasant meaty aftertaste
Eat more
in your
then.
mouth.
Yeah, eat more. Prove it.
Go on.
It's all right. It's not bad. It's not
I
bad.
have done this on a previous episode because I had kidneys when I had Laura, the gourmet goat farmer from Avebury, on, and she served me up a bunch of goat offal, and I did. So people can witness. If they want to watch me eat kidneys, fine. I can do it, but But are they the worst food? Is it worse than jellied eels?
No.
I don't think they'd be worse than jellied eels. I'm not going to pretend I'm upset that you didn't get jellied eels, but I think jellied eels would be worse.
I don't think.
For me, jellied eels would be worse.
I'd still rather eat dog food, but dog food doesn't count as best English
Oh, you
food,
definitely
if you know what I mean.
would not eat
No,
dog
So-
food in
we
comparison.
were doing the worst.
That is the worst. Do you want a Ocean?
It's
Do you want a
not
kidney?
that bad, lovely. To be honest, the spiciness you might not like because it's nicely
Bit of spice
devilledy.
to it,
Yeah.
So I can see where the name came from that Duane's granddad said. Now, though, I was giving a look at it, you know. It's very, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So we're not saying that's the worst, though. But
Oh.
I mean, I've looked up lists of worst food, and it's always stuff like black pudding. And
see, black
haggis.
pudding's fine. I like
Yeah.
black pudding.
Yeah.
Fried scab.
They
It's
say
good.
the wrong things.
Huh?
They
Yeah.
say the wrong things.
Yeah, the wrong
We looked
thing.
up a list yesterday, and we were going like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. Like,
I remember I was at the pub after my a creaking Duane.
going back.
We're having the
That's just his
sweet.
bones.
Oh.
Need some kidneys. It will see you right.
That's all right.
Yeah, I don't
We were
mind
just
that.
basically, Duane, we're just discussing whether it's the worst. I mean, what is the worst?
I was at my old archery club. We went to the pub after a shoot once, and there was a seafood van outside, and this guy, and I think he was from London, but he gets this pot. He comes in with this pot, so we're all sat down with our pints, and he nips off, and he comes back with this pot, and it's got eels, it's got whelks, it's got all sorts of things, and it's like all slimy and squidgy and jellied, and he's just there like really noisy eater as well. Sorry if you're watching this, but it's chewing really noisy, it's dribbling out, it's like, do you want some? Like, and then literally it turned my stomach. I think I did dry heave a little bit, and yeah, so thinking of jellied eels, I just think back to that.
I mainly wanted to bring them so I could do the song
What's the
Eels up
song?
in-
from Mighty Boosh. Eels up inside you, find your energy when they can. So we're actually
was a
struggling
moment.
as a group to pick something that's the worst English food.
Now,
But English food gets a bad rep, doesn't it?
you know,
Mainly because people say it's bland, but so
they never had a devil kidney.
Flavour comes from butter,
that's it. That's
fry
it.
and stuff,
Lard.
roasting.
It's got
things.
salt, it's got pepper on. What else you want?
All right, well, Ocean has a backup of what might be the worst English food, and it's
Oh.
controversial.
Oh, well done, Ocean. Oh.
Yes.
You
That
love
is
it.
brilliant. That is one of the
You
best
can't-
English foods.
Can't do a podcast on English things that are the worst, but to some people the best, because no one seems to be in the middle. Is Marmite.
I
Big-
used to absolutely hate it, but now I don't mind it. But you can't spread it like jam. It has to be thin. You can't get it a big blob of it like peanut butter and you
Not
just
with
can't.
that attitude, you can't. Lay it on thick.
No.
Well, I bought 3 spoons, guys.
Hey,
You got to have a.
I will happily eat a spoonful of
A spoon.
Marmite.
I don't have to eat that ever again.
You had it at
Pretty
school, you
intense.
said.
Yes, in my sandwiches, and I do not like it.
Oh.
School
They
sandwiches. didn't
snuck
I think I
in,
might
didn't they?
actually finish that.
Do it. Go for it. Put some
Are
Marmite
you
on it.
feeling snacky?
If you want that, then feel free. If anyone wants to try Marmite, we just thought it was a good mention of Marmite because
Good
that
mention.
is a fairly.
Yeah.
I like Marmite.
I'm a
with my
Marmite fan.
peanut butter.
Yeah, I prefer it to
I do
peanut
not
butter.
like
I noticed when we bought that earlier that there's loads of other flavours out there as well, like combinations and stuff.
Yeah, you get the Marmite
Marmite
peanut
peanut
butter. I'm
butter.
not a fan of. It's
I
like
do
really
not like
oily.
it.
What about the old Vegemite? Because Dwayne's got family in Australia. You've had a lot of Vegemite. Is that different?
Stronger.
Stronger?
It's thicker.
Thicker?
Yeah.
I'm just repeating
got-
words now.
Yeah, different consistency. So it's less-
Consistency.
So I think the reason the English food gets a bad rep is because it's seen as bland and badly cooked. Now, every American I've had visit me has changed their opinion of it after coming here. You know, just get a pie inside them. You know, it's like well cooked pie and stuff like that. Taken for a bit of say Sunday roast, and you know, it's
Yeah.
Oh, Patrick's pies.
yeah,
Patrick's
Patrick from
pies.
I don't know what episode of the podcast he was on, but not only does he
Yes.
make stellar fan films, but bad mead, but he makes very good pies.
Yes, he was actually from the same group of Dave recordings that got deleted. So I ended up recording again over Zoom with Patrick.
Oh yes.
And we had to talk about the food that he had on the previous episode, which was not convenient. Yes, so...
Oh, just on a note,
Just
actually,
come on, look
we
at
just
it.
had our Duke of Edinburgh week, so we've had 11 DofE Gold students
Yeah.
coming, and they do different activities every night. And one of the nights was they give up the creature comforts of pizza or fajitas that we've been making them. They do a historic cook. So we usually do a stew and things like that. But it was Jen's turn, and she decided to cook a couple of different things for them.
Yeah.
What did you cook?
Oh, you're setting me up.
I am
Clever.
now.
Yeah, well, I've spoken to Craig about this already, but yes, we did your salt dough venison and a bit of
it's lovely.
frumenty. I know, historical accurate, maybe not. But it was amazing and went down really well.
Did you do the carrots in the end?
We did your carrots as
Caraway
well.
carrots.
The carrots with the goat's cheese. Very nice. And then there was another
anyone
dish
want
that
any
had
more
walnuts
Prosecco?
in.
Whilst I'm pouring.
No, thank you.
I don't have a cup, so I'll have the bottle later.
I actually ended up putting the walnuts that was supposed to be in another dish in with the carrots and goat's cheese just because I shoved them all in and that went fine. That went fine.
Sounds like a Waldorf salad. Almost.
It was, but it was all cooked. It was like charcoaled kind of carrots. Really nice.
Char grilled.
Just made it up. Well, maybe. Not
Just
the way I
burnt.
did them.
Just burnt then.
Just
Desperate to get onto
Okay,
sweets.
so
yeah,
that's
worst-
definitely not the worst.
No.
I'm fearing the sweet stuff, to be fair, because the worst might actually be in with the sweet stuff.
See it.
I think another good mention actually for worse would be things like tripe. You know. how I feel
Tripe,
about
yeah, I'm not a fan. You're a fan. On that last podcast we were on together, you were
It
well in there
hey,
with the tripe.
The tripe was good. Don't particularly like the tripe when it's cold because it gets a bit gelatinous, but I'm quite happy
Lovely
to sit there and
word.
eat it.
Yeah, for me, as I said, I already suggested jellied eels. I don't think I've eaten them, so I can't full-heartedly say it's the worst.
Yeah.
But given how I am with a lot of that stuff, I was not a fan of the fermented shark. I was not a fan of.
That's another pissy one.
It's a
speaking
very
of
pissy one.
kidneys.
Not a fan of like smoked mackerel or anything like that.
I've got some of that for Sunday.
What's that?
I've got some of that for Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, smoked mackerel's lush.
Oh no, I was at a party once and someone brought me up some smoked oysters and everyone's like, "Oh, I'll try these." And like, the only time I've eaten an oyster was on your podcast. I was like, "Yeah, that was fine." Smoked, different story. Whoa, not good. So yeah, anything smoked fish or fermented fish for me, but jellied eels, it's just everything about that seems unappealing. What about you?
I'm just thinking on the mackerel front, it's pernickety food. So there's lots of little bones in mackerel that do my head in. And I know you probably can eat them, but the thing like the whole whitebait thing where you eat the whole fish, I probably just couldn't. I can't do that. Can't do that. No crunchy food that is not meant to be crunched like bones.
I like white bait.
yeah.
I think for most people it comes down to a lot being the worst is like offal, isn't it? Most people don't like anything. Liver, kidneys. We mentioned haggis.
Ironically, you've got
Right,
lots
but
of that stuff ground up in sausages and things like that
Yeah,
quite often,
yeah.
but
When you don't have to think about it.
it doesn't look like it. It doesn't taste
Again,
or smell
tripe.
like it.
Yeah, I think like, faggots has come up before as well as being the worst thing, but I love faggots.
I tried those for the first time a couple of years ago, and I really enjoyed them.
They're better if you get proper butcher's ones and not, because there is a brand,
Yeah, I got the brand.
yeah, which is what I grew up on, and I liked them. But once I started making them, they weren't as good.
Yeah.
We're going to do sweets later. She likes sweets. Didn't eat any of her kidneys, but she wants some sweets.
How can you have any sweets if you don't eat your kidneys?
Right. Well, we're going to do best food next.
Oh.
Best English food. And I've brought something that...
I have two favourites, okay? I've got two.
Go on, Anne, you go first.
Pizza and Chinese.
Okay, two non-English dishes. We go for best English dishes. Both good foods, yes. I suppose you could argue that Chinese food is
Anglicised.
it's an anglicised Chinese food. Yeah. Just watch your tapping your legs because they're going to come out on that microphone really loud in people's ears.
Okay.
You're going to make people deaf.
Oh. Dwayne's already a bit deaf, that's all right.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah. So do we have what would you think is the best British?
Oh, I love a roast. Come on.
Right?
A roast.
Yeah.
Give you that. That's
A
one.
roast. Oh,
I think we mentioned roast in the planning, but it's obviously a bit difficult to do
Yeah.
for this.
I'm
You've got to
personally
have a lot of
disappointed
veg.
you didn't bring a roast.
it's got to have all the trimmings
Well,
and
Andy,
veg.
here's one I made earlier.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
Oh.
a cold roast
Yeah.
with
I'd eat a
crusty
cold
gravy.
roast. I'd eat
No.
that. I'd eat
Cold
that.
meats and cold roast potatoes
In a
work, you
blender.
know.
Oh, I've got a top
Hog
roast
roast.
dinner tip.
Well,
A top roast dinner tip is that we do this sometimes, don't we, sweetheart? Where you do your big roast dinner on a Sunday, and then if you plate up another 2 plates, then on Monday night you get a bonus 5-minute popty ping roast dinner.
Popty ping.
A popty ping roast dinner.
We don't have a popty ping.
Don't you?
No.
Well, you can eat it cold. It's still just as nice. You'll be fine.
So I'd probably go down the lines of another good British one, Bubble and Squeak.
yeah, I was about to say that to be
Yeah.
fair.
We got that.
What
I
that
went
is
British there
that?
because I'm not sure if that's English or not.
was
was
that
deliberate.
classic tradition.
What is
I
that
think it probably
then?
transcends.
What, like
It's
meats,
mashed
patties type thing?
potatoes
So-
with vegetables in it.
Traditionally, you'd have whatever was left
Oh,
from
no, I
the
don't want
roast.
that.
The next day, you'd then cook it up either with breakfast or lunch, and you'd mash it up.
And fry
So
it.
potatoes, cabbage,
Perfect.
anything else in there, peas, whatever's in there. You just fry it up in a pan, and
And have your cold meats on the side. That's how.
that's
we would
it.
do
And it
as a
goes
kid.
bubble and squeak when it's cooking. So
And I hated it as a kid. I'd see my mum's making mash, brilliant. I love mash. And then I'd see her put all the veg in there. Like, oh,
I love my mum's bubble and squeak. That was Sometimes see what it's a real gobbling thing to do. I know, but in a sandwich, sort of butter up a bit of bread and whack it in there, and it's like
Carbs on carbs.
carbs on carbs.
That's
Can't
like
beat
having a
it.
waffle sandwich. Have you ever done that? Waffle sandwich?
I have not had a waffle sandwich.
sandwich.
Potato waffles in a sandwich. Bit of ketchup.
Yeah, it works.
I can
It's
see
good.
that. But
Yeah.
I
So we
mean-
had we had roast. Did you said hog roast just now? Was that
No.
your
Well,
best?
no, it's one of the best. But if I was to narrow everything down, I would have to say full English with all the trimmings.
That's good.
Best way to start the day, and if you have one big enough, then you go straight through lunch.
Yeah, yeah. Black pudding,
Black pudding, hell yeah.
hash browns,
Hash browns, yeah.
beans.
I do not
Beans.
like
Beans are the controversial one, I think. 'cause
baked
there's
beans.
Baked beans.
Baked beans, yeah,
I
definitely.
love baked
Gotta have a bit of
beans.
baked beans.
I've heard hate on the beans lately.
see, I've kind of fallen in love with beans again recently. I
You
never
love them?
used to like them, but
Yeah.
my
I really
girlfriend's
love them.
like been stealing my beans, and then like all of a sudden I want them again. So
The best thing to do with the baked beans, though, is if you've got like a proper barbecue going, and I'm not talking about an English barbecue because the English don't know how to barbecue. Sorry, controversial, I know.
You upset the WI now.
Get out.
the
But
people
I
here know how
reckon
to
he's trying to
barbecue.
get kicked out before we do sweets.
But what you do is when you've got like a brisket or you've got some beef ribs and you properly barbecued them, cut the ends off, put them in your baked beans and put the baked beans on the fire and just let them slow cook. You'll end up with the best baked beans ever.
So you look like a guy that knows how to barbecue, so I'm going to take your word for that. You just got that
does.
sort of,
He knows
yeah,
that
I own an
barbecue.
apron, but I just
yeah.
get out for the barbecue kind of look.
I wish. I mean, it's on the bucket list.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I've got my own place, then yeah, the smoke is going to come out for sure, 100%.
And we'll do another episode from Duane's new place. And he's going to cook us the best barbecue we've ever had. Because
It
apparently
just
as English
takes a
people,
That
we can't do
long
it.
them, wouldn't it?
time. It's a problem with proper barbecue though. It takes a long time, 12 hours plus.
I think now, see, I'd have definitely gone for roast as my first, but you've already said roast. That full English would have been up there. So I'm either going to go for a Cornish pasty, arguably not English, depends how Cornish nationalist you are, or bangers and mash.
Bangers and mash.
Bangers and mash is a classic.
Yeah.
Would you have onion gravy on it?
Got to have onion gravy on it.
Ah, see, I'd go beans. Bring back the beans. Baked beans and mashed
Heathen.
potato.
Baked beans and mash is good.
Yes, it is, but not with bangers.
Cheesy mash.
I don't know, a little bit of cheese on top of the beans.
Yeah. Cheese
Yeah.
beans.
This is another sort of top thing that people think of as English is fish and chips. And I deliberately avoided that because I believe it was created by a Jewish person in London. So it's like, are they technically English? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it goes. I think it dates back to it's not. It wasn't an English origin. It was someone. I think that guy sort of brought it over.
That goes for a lot of our food, though. We tend to borrow, beg and steal.
Go around the British
Mostly
Museum
stealing.
and you can see a lot of stealing.
Yeah.
We go around the world and take other people's things and go, we'll have that.
Yeah. Hence, we end up with things like chicken tikka masala.
Yeah.
Is that a national dish? Actually, was that the voted in it? What it was a?
Was it?
It was a variant of an Indian dish that was voted the British national dish.
Yeah, because it's not an Indian dish. It's an anglicised.
Yeah, anglicised one.
So I was busy cooking this afternoon and it's going to be cold. And I've never had it cold because it could be horrible. But it kind of ties in with what Andy said. Is I've gone with toad in the hole.
Hey.
Hey,
How could that be bad?
nothing wrong with
Cold.
toad in the
Yeah.
hole.
No, but cold toad in the hole.
No,
I've
it's
never had it
fine.
cold. It's probably fine.
Yorkies are fine cold and sausages are fine cold. It'll
Have
be
you not
fine.
put like jam on your old Yorkshire pudding?
No.
No.
What's it called? Golden syrup. Because it's,
golden
it's
syrup.
pancake
I've
batter,
never
isn't it,
tried
really?
any of that.
It's
But
pancake batter.
There's never any left. By the time, so you know. it's-
There is.
I mean, to be fair, you're not wrong, but
I'm just gonna
having
like-
something on top of your cold.
I haven't made any in ages. Toad in the hole or Yorkies. I
So
always
I
go
made it
with
this
our best now.
afternoon. Obviously, this would go with something like mashed potato, normally. But
Double carbs.
for the sakes of this is convenient.
Thank you.
We did have this recently, actually, and we had it with mash and gravy. And
Mm.
usually mushy peas on the side.
I like your choice of sausage as well, Craig.
Yeah,
Bit chipolati.
they are chipolatas.
Nice.
Yeah. And to be honest, it was as much about what can I make and transport through the AQZ.
That's
But
lovely.
He's hidden a couple of kidneys in there for flavour as well, right?
they're in the sausages.
That's it. This is good. It works
That's
cold.
lovely.
I want to have some more.
I like it.
I like it.
Yeah, I think, other than, like you said, a roast, it's got to be up there. I think we've covered, like, all the best stuff from your full English to your roast. Bangers and mash. This would go well with mash, so it's all gravy.
There's lots of sausages in the English thing, then, isn't
Yeah, there is. Yeah, that's true.
Because everything up on that list has a sausage in it at some point. I mean,
I don't know why that's funny. It's
So
not funny.
does that make the sausage the greatest British food? Is that like the common denominator?
Only if it's
English.
in everything. That's.
English.
You've got
I mean,
to-
come on, pigs and blankets. Tell me I'm wrong.
Pigs
I
in
mean, that's
blanket.
advanced roast dinner, isn't it? Christmas dinner.
It's like the opposite to carbs wrapped in carbs, isn't it? It's like, you know, pig wrapped in pig.
Anymore?
Very
I do
nice.
love
Craig.
a toad in the hole.
Very good.
Very good. Has it got a bit of spices in it, like pepper? You put pepper in it.
That's just
Or is
what's
that
in the
sausage?
sausage.
Yeah.
It's just egg, flour, milk, pinch of salt in the batter.
Very nice. Very nice.
Go on, you have the main.
There is actually a recipe for toad in the hole if anyone's interested, particularly if you've never tried it. There's this book out called Eat Like a Halfling.
I've heard of that.
Have you heard of that one?
I've got a copy signed
Have
by
you?
the author.
Oh, okay.
It's got some damn handsome people in there.
Not all
that-
the handsome people.
Not all, they're not all handsome. Some of them.
Dad, I want to have another bite.
Someone's hungry now.
Naturally, I was talking about Matt and Barry, you know.
Of course. But yeah, there is a recipe for this in the like halfling book if anyone wants to try making it. I may as well plug my own stuff. Whilst we're here, Ocean, stand up. Show everybody your wonderful T-shirt. Whilst we're doing plugs, this is like an advert in the middle of the show.
That's brilliant.
Available in adult sizes, kid sizes, and different colours. A Would I Like It T-shirt. And the latest design. The latest
I love
I
this
like
one.
your one with the skep head.
I might have to get one of those.
Anglo-Saxon Honey Monster, available in multiple colours and sizes as well, and on aprons and hoodies and the whole lot. All on the website, saxonforager.co.uk. Shipping worldwide.
It's all about the honey, mummy.
Oh. You want to eat that
For a joke, I put the basket on my head. Ocean took a picture, put it on Instagram, and it kind of blew up, if you like. In that people were, because I put that the original version of the Honey Monster from Sugar Puff cereal was based on an Anglo-Saxon story of. We're going to do sweets in a minute. Good Lord! Someone get this girl some sweets. She's never had sweets. Never worked with children.
Huh? No, never work with Vikings.
Yeah.
That's what we said on the first video.
I mean,
Oh, I
that's
think
not wrong.
someone's just been pulled out, Dad.
No, that was on the video for the pancakes.
Okay. So I made up this silly backstory about the honey monster from Sugar Puffs being based on an Anglo-Saxon myth about a guy that wanders around with a basket on his head. And it seems quite a few people thought that was real lore.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It
This
wasn't.
is the
I've
first
been,
time I brought it up in public, but I made it up on the spur of the moment.
What?
It took 2 seconds.
we've been
It's
telling
not
everyone
simple.
that's a fact for the last 3
I know,
months.
I know. But that's the thing, people come to me for facts, don't they? They don't expect me to make stuff up. It wasn't April Fool's, sorry, but... And then, so that led to me getting the Saxon storyteller who did the artwork for me. Kind of told him roughly what I wanted, he drew it, put it on a t-shirt, and everyone loved it.
Amazing.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think, hopefully, I've got Jason Bucks trying to write the lore for me. So
Oh,
we could
awesome.
actually make this happen and become a thing.
Awesome.
We're hoping to record something with Jason where he'll tell some version of it for
Nice.
Halloween. He's got the
Okay.
task of writing it. So,
How's it until Halloween? I want
3
sweets.
months.
Yeah.
want
That's how you
sweets.
get stories going, innit? Andy started some legends like that, haven't you?
Yeah, I started a ghost story accidentally once. There was in Hertfordshire there was a footpad, a man by the name of Walter Clibben, and 2 versions I started. One, so he ran a pie shop, and he used to go and sell his pies at the market. And what he'd do, he'd listen to all the people in the market that had made lots of money, and he'd get chatting to them, give them a discount on a pie, you know, ask where they were going, if they got far to go, how did they do. Then he'd go to the edge of town, tell his sons where they were going to be, meet him there, and so they'd always know who to hit, who had lots of money. And sometimes he'd kill them, sometimes he'd wound them, sometimes he'd just rough them up a bit. I started 2 stories. One, for a laugh, I said that he'd take his victims and cook them into the pies, because why not, bit of Sweeney Todd. And the other one was I told them that if you went down that stretch of road, you could still hear these ghostly hoofbeats and the sound of something getting dragged behind, because they dragged his body when he was killed. They dragged his body up the road, up and down the road where he was killed, and buried him on the spot he was shot. And and I've had people come back to my walk 2 years later who'd heard from someone about this ghost story, and it's like, I'm pretty sure I made that up. So yeah, you know, it happened. You've probably just started a folklore legend.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Well, it tends to take a life of its own.
The Slender Man is like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
classic
it was
example, isn't
it was a creepypasta thing, wasn't it? It was made up online,
But then that led to 2 girls killing
or nearly killing. Yeah.
another girl. So it can have serious consequences. What I'm saying is, don't put a basket on your head and stab people.
Or cook people in pies, unless
Just eat
they're going to
food.
then
Just-
eat them
just-
on here.
Or just stab people in general. Just don't basket or not.
The more you know.
Oh right, it's not the basket that's
It's
the
not
problem.
necessarily. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, this guy's taken someone's head off, so
Yeah.
you'll notice he's got the same colour tunic as me too, which is
The
suspicious.
honey monster's
Because
terrifying.
it's you.
It's hard to tell because he's got something on his
Yeah.
head.
You'd never know.
I know.
Get on to the swing.
Don't use that, Jen.
These 2 are gagging for it, and I'm dreading it.
It's kind of fun that we found something that Duane doesn't like.
I'm wondering what sweet you're so dreading, Duane.
I'll hand it to you. I will, I promise. All right. So Ocean wants to go. Sorry, Ocean wants to go first.
Okay.
Of course.
I think this is a controversial choice. Because we remember here we're going for best English sweet.
Okay.
So what have you chosen, Ocean?
Popping candy, chocolate.
Oh, I mean, good choice. It's
Good
good
choice.
stuff.
It's Cadbury, so it's
Cadbury's
English.
owned by an American company, and it's full of popping candy, which is also American. So at what point is it? Not to poo-poo all over Ocean's Choice.
Have we got to try this? Have we got
I
to
might
try
be opening this, I might not be.
Cadbury's is a good
Can I
English
open
choice, and it is a good choice. I mean,
So,
Marvelous
I
Creations.
will say, it's very
I've
hard
got
to get that in America.
candy.
Because my friend Liza gets me to send that over to her. If ever I'm sending her anything, she gets me to send that stuff over, the popping candy one. So even if it originates in America, it's harder to get there than it is here.
I mean, I think as a whole, this originates here.
Yeah.
And it's originally an English company. So I think it is English. It just, yeah, you could say it was cheating because it's got popping candy. And actually, I think quite funny is Ocean asked for popping candy. I couldn't find any, but it turned out she actually meant this.
Ah.
She didn't know you could get popping candy on its own.
Right.
Oh,
Me.
I remember that.
Me.
Yeah, so open your mouth. It's
So
like, yeah.
you need to hand some round to everybody.
Thank
Has
you.
everyone tried this before?
I've
Maybe.
had it before.
But I
That's
would
when
definitely-
popping candy when sweets cost like
Oh,
a penny and you could like unwrap them all.
Sherbet
and-
dips and
Yeah.
things. Oh, she's got
Yeah.
one of those.
And it's got Smarties and jellies in there as well. I mean, yeah, it's good.
It's the best chocolate in the world.
We bought it last week to
Oh,
use
thank
it for
you
this
for
week and
sharing
ate
it
it
with us.
before this week and had to buy
Thank
another
you.
one.
Have you got some, Ocean?
No.
Oh, thank you.
She has to get that. So popping candy, do you know about the invention of popping candy? Should I do this?
Go on.
I actually heard this on something else recently, so I was like, I didn't look it up intentionally, but popping candy was invented to try and make an instant fizzy drink. It didn't work, and the guy thought, what happens if I put some in my mouth? Popping candy. And then for a long time it didn't get released because they were kind of eating it, like in the lab, I guess.
Mad
just kept
scientist.
And then eventually when it did get released, it had like all these urban legends about how it would make children's stomachs explode and stuff.
Wow.
So they then had to put out like press releases and stuff to say, this stuff is not dangerous, it will not make your kids' stomachs explode. I thought it was quite interesting.
That is lovely. Good choice, Ocean.
Yeah, that's
Very
a good
nice.
one.
Very.
You'll polish the rest off now.
Don't forget you got to eat pizza yet.
Oh yeah.
What a night.
You're doing it the wrong way around though, but
Oh,
okay.
there's the way.
It's a
Chocolate
starter.
sandwich.
Chocolate starter.
Chocolate star. There's more
Yes.
sweets to come. There's more sweets to
I
come.
think she
No.
likes it.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Have that. We'll save the rest for later. Yeah? Because we don't want to eat. Yeah?
Not yet.
Pinch some more later.
Duane, would you like to go next, being as you love sweets?
Okay, so
Straight in.
one for the fizzy laces.
Fizzy noted?
Fizzy
Wow.
laces, mainly because they are sweet, obviously. They're coated in sugar, but they're also really sour. So, yeah, kind of not a great fan of sweet things. Chocolate I enjoy.
I think you said to me before you don't like fudge was like
Fudge,
the worst.
fudge is
Oh, that's what you were dreading.
horrible.
I did threaten to bring fudge.
Should have done.
I just there's something about it which I really don't enjoy.
I'm sure Ocean will enjoy a fizzy lace. Look how quickly she took that. Quicker than she took the kidneys. Thank you.
If I hadn't have been so busy with everything we've been doing this week, I was going to go to Burley because they do the amazing fudge there. So, you know, they do Marmite fudge, interestingly enough.
Oh, you might actually like that.
It's
Marmite
really good.
fudge.
My mouth
That's
is
a-
popping whilst I'm eating the jelly.
Oh, that
Mine
takes me
too.
back, man. That takes me back.
I mean, the thing which made me pick these up was the Woolworths pick and mix.
Oh, yes.
As a kid, I mean, because we were supposed to find the English sweet that we most like, and my immediate thought was something like Cadbury's, curly whirlies. They used to be massive, but now
Do you know what? I nearly bought a curly whirly. So close. It was like,
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's
I'm going
the
to have to go
tasty-
next because what I've bought ties into exactly what you just said. So you can carry on. But
It's especially with sweet things. I think it ties so much into like nostalgia and your childhood. couldn't not pick up something like
I know
the strawberry
why I know
laces
it.
because it just reminds me of being a kid and helping yourself in the
So yeah,
Woolworths.
I used the loophole
What?
because
Is
I
that-
got
I guess
pick
it's
and
Ella.
mix.
Hey! I was just going to say, pick and
I'm
mix
gonna bring
is like
curly word in. Like, wait, I can do better than this.
one of the most intrinsically sort of going to Woolworths, going to places like that, going to the cinema and like loading up on pick and mix, little dolly mixtures and stuff. And
Have you got
Yeah.
white mouse? Have you got white mouse in there?
They
do
didn't.
you remember
have
the
one
chocolate?
once.
Do you remember the tools? They were shaped like different tools and they were made of chocolate.
Tools.
Tools.
What's a tools?
Tools.
yeah.
Like, as in
Tools.
like literally
Hammers.
like
But I
hammers
nearly-
and spanners
not a
and
clue.
stuff.
UFOs.
Didn't have any of those.
Ah,
I'll be honest. I'm not going to say
the
what got
mallow
them.
banana-y
What
things.
was in there?
Weren't
chewy
the
bananas.
best pick and mix choice. I'll be honest,
Oh.
but it's what I could get.
Cola bowls.
But I did think afterwards I needed to get some strawberry laces. So it also ties in with your thing.
I also
So-
went for the red pencils too.
I mean, we'll pass them over and you can have a look and a gander and see what you think of my pick and mix.
Well,
It's all fudge.
There are no,
It's a bag of fudge.
Wouldn't that be funny? I would laugh so much.
no cola bottles for me.
Oh, I wish I'd done that.
That
Yeah,
would
cola
have been
bottles
so
are great.
funny. There's no fudge.
They-
I said have this.
I've never seen these things before. What are these?
Oh, it's a
What?
That's a marsh.
Oh, what do we call them? Hang on, come on, let's
Oh.
see. What is that?
I don't know this one, so I've not got a name for it.
Coconut mushroom? Is it?
So
What would you call them?
we always thought they were mushrooms. They're
Right.
supposed to be nests.
Nest.
It's upside down. If you turn it over, it's a nest with an egg in it.
Oh.
I'm looking at all the things.
Are you
And chocolate-
touching all the things?
I'm going to have one of each.
There should be
Oh,
enough
that's
for
fine.
everyone to get like one of each, I think. There's some
Oh,
strawberry
hang on.
bonbons in there. There's some foam bananas.
And
some shrimp.
Coca-Colas.
Foam banana.
Yeah.
Bonbon,
Oh,
surely
no.
it is French.
A shrimp.
Bonbon.
And
Bonbon.
Coca-Colas.
Oh, there's a banana.
Are you
Fried
poo-pooing
egg.
on my bonbon selection?
Oh,
Fried
no.
egg's a classic.
I love a dolly mixture. I'm going for dolly.
Is it hundreds and thousands covered
White
white chocolate bar? That's a
Discos,
classic.
weren't they?
Yeah.
Discos? Disco.
The flying
buttons.
saucers you're on about, you mean the things with the sherbet in?
Yeah, the rice paper with the sherbet right in the
Oh,
middle.
that's really nice.
Jen's found hers.
Speaking of hundreds and thousands, I had fairy bread for the first time the other day. You ever tried that?
Nope.
It's literally, it's an Australian thing. Bread and butter just covered with hundreds and thousands.
There you go.
Interesting.
Yeah, little sugar, yeah. It's
Sprinkles and
yeah,
stuff
little
in there.
sprinkles, yeah.
Have a look. What have we got left? Where went the last? Have I, oh, I did
Oh,
mention,
banana.
yeah. So we had, dolly mixtures in there. There's some, the fried eggs, kind of classic. Is that everything in there? Oh, there's some jelly beans, which again, probably American, I guess, being jelly beans, but I thought I'd chuck some in there. I think that's everything. Yeah.
Very
The
nice.
pick and mix. I mean, classic, like you said.
Yeah.
Woolworths particularly.
For Coca-Cola.
You nearly bought the old ones, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I almost very much did go to an old-fashioned sweet shop and go for like the cola cubes and the pineapple cubes and that type of thing, but run out of time. And plus the fact, I like the sweet. I also like the skin on the top of my roof of my mouth. If anyone's gone for like a cola cube and tried to eat one of
Yeah.
those without removing the soft palate.
I thought I was also meant the Werthers.
I think that was it.
Was that you? Oh no, I might get confused between
Well,
blokes.
do you want to go first or?
No.
Well,
So-
one last thing on this though is that I used to always save the bonbons to last, and I've lost many a filling.
Oh yeah, no.
Look at me.
Yeah.
That's the same with like toffee, though, isn't it? Oof, no.
I mean,
No.
yeah, I was thinking
Chewy.
about bringing a slab of toffee and having to crack it with a hammer. Then I thought,
Confused.
my poor teeth. I like my teeth in my head. Thanks.
Yeah, so the other thing I was going to add to that was the strawberry laces, which would have sort of tied in with what you got anyway. That's why I had to jump in and go next, because I was like, actually, these things are pretty closely connected.
Right, which one of you retrobates want to go first?
Do you want to go first?
Oh, we just discovered it. Mine might be Irish. Might be Irish.
I'm not
so
sure where it
is
originates from,
I
actually.
can't read, but it's got to be a bit of galaxy. Oh, it's Mars, which is from Ireland. Can we have that, Craig?
Well, Mars
Right
was
now.
from
I
Mars.
mean, Ocean, would you like some?
Yes, please.
There we are. So, yeah.
Mars, the company, is actually
I'm crazy.
English. They
Yeah,
moved
that's what I
out to
thought.
Dublin because then they saved
This
lots
one
of
has
money.
got some lovely bits of caramel.
Oh,
inside.
one thing that we didn't mention, is that when we go off on this trip over Europe, the reason why Ocean wanted to do this episode is because we're going to do.
Oh no, I squished it.
Ocean wants to do a separate episode of all the best sweets from the 7 countries we go to,
Oh, nice.
which is why she wanted to come in on this one. As you can tell, you might have noticed a few times she's mentioned she quite likes sweets.
Squished it.
Galaxy, good.
And it's salted caramel as well.
Salted caramel, good.
One of the highlights of my history trip to Belgium, I think, was we stopped at this when I was I think I was year 9 or 10 or something, and we stopped at a where was it? It was on the Belgian border. It was this little chocolate shop, all this Belgian chocolate, and they had literally a tray of broken like bits of chocolate from their where they were making it out back. You could just take samples of, and so of course, having no morals or standards as like a scruffy little sort of year 10 English student, we were filling bags up with this stuff. We all walked away with like bags full of this broken chocolate, but it was brilliant. So yeah, that's one of the top ones for the continent for me.
That's the one, if you were listening earlier, Andy asked what that was. It's meant to be a nest.
It's really nice. You'll like that.
It's a nest, you see, with
Oh,
an egg in
yeah,
it.
there's an egg in it.
So I like when
It's a funny shaped egg.
We've mentioned it twice.
Looked like a mushroom.
Yeah. Well, we always thought they were that way, which is like a mushroom.
Did Craig get a piece of?
Oh,
I
yes.
think so, yeah.
Yeah, Galaxy is a good choice. It is one of the better chocolates.
I
yeah,
do like it.
definitely.
Yeah, even if it is Irish. We'll let you off.
But
Thanks.
of English origin, apparently.
No, Mars the company is I believe an English company. Of course, they're registered in Dublin now because Dublin is a tax haven.
It's a tax dodge. Is what you're saying. Are you calling out Mars? Am I going to be sued by Mars for your comment?
No, not a lot of companies do it. I'm not.
Is
saying
Big
it's
Chocolate
right.
listening into my podcast now?
Bloody lovely.
You'll be fine, I'm sure.
I didn't say it. I said it was lovely chocolate.
Dad, guess which one I have in my hand?
I don't know. The bonbon.
Oh, we're going to go jelly top.
They're just really chewy.
So I guess it's you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, couple.
A couple. Ooh.
So one of them I wasn't sure because people is very divisive, which is licorice. Just your plain standard licorice, as God intended. Jen,
So
you gonna turn it down?
I'm
I
sorry.
mentioned that vodka that I've got, which we can try later,
Yes.
which is a Danish sweet. Although I think someone said they're actually Finnish, but I was giving them
Pass
my
that
Danish friend. Turkish pepper. I don't think you're gonna like that.
I don't. It's very
You
chewy.
try it. And I was giving them to put in vodka, and
Give it
because
a
they were on the
lick first,
kitchen
like-
side,
Okay.
I kind of got a taste for them, and I kept going back and getting more. And they're salted licorice, like hard-boiled sweets. But they're kind of almost bitter in the middle. They're worth trying. So, I prefer a licorice all sort. to a
Yeah,
plain
I
licorice.
nearly went licorice all sorts, but I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go with the raw.
Wrapped in a bit of sugar, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, takes the
I
edge
ate the
off. Yeah.
coconut off them and put them back. And then someone else can have the
Oh,
middle
Oh
bit.
no,
That's what
Gross.
you savage!
What do you think?
Uh,
Not good.
Not your favourite.
I'm a big
I
aniseed
agree with you.
fan, so you know. Okay, well, the other is, of course, and it's
Hang on.
mentioned already, the
Let's just
classic.
have a spit job. There we go. We'll blur
Well
it
done.
out probably. I don't know if I can actually do that. I'm not sure. If I can blur it out with
Posted
blur.
it, it's fine.
Werther's original.
You
Yeah.
old man.
Yes.
There you go. This is a slight variant, actually. This is the toffee filling one. So they started making them interesting. I was going to go for the classic butter, but I thought I'd mix it up a little bit.
They do a fudge one as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Buttered caramel is probably my limit.
Yeah, closest to fudge you can get.
It is as close as I possibly can get
Now,
without my belly flip-flopping.
now you're the granddad.
It's weird to have a Werther's chaser after a licorice. I must admit.
Yeah, I'm not sure the flavour's really
Yeah,
there.
I'm glad I don't have that on my palate.
You mentioned, which we already did, the curly whirly, because that was my backup choice. Was curly whirly or like a chomp.
Chomp, oh yeah, chomps.
Oh, the other one we were trying to get for the pick and mix I couldn't find was the what are they called? The lollies.
Drumsticks.
No, they're like the powdery ones.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
The drums? No,
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 drumsticks.
drumsticks is a chewy one, isn't it?
The Swizzlers.
Fritters.
I like them.
They're really nice.
Yeah.
I think the Vols have got some in their office.
Have they? When I was teaching end of term things, I'd always put a few of them in my top drawer and then give the rest out to the kids.
We usually, at Halloween, when you buy like a tub of sweets for the trick-or-treaters, we pull all those out first. Those are for us, and they can have the rest, because I really like them.
Sharesies.
Like a tube of
I've never got trick or treated, so I've
Like
always
a
lived in
tube of
flats.
refreshers.
Refreshers
Almost
is
it.
a good one. Yeah. I think someone online mentioned fruit salads and blackjacks. Going back to the...
I was just thinking that, yeah.
The
Penny
liquid
sweets and that, yeah.
Yeah, the aniseed again, isn't it, with the blackjack?
Which is weird, because you don't hear of people eating them, but they still exist. So, like, they're obviously selling enough to survive.
Love hearts.
I was going to say love hearts.
Ocean had some love hearts last week.
Or
They're not
Palmer
called love hearts
violets.
anymore.
Why?
What's that?
They're not called love hearts anymore.
Really?
What are they called?
Oh, what are they called?
I thought they were just called robots.
No, they've changed the name, and they're all like... Not being
Sweethearts
funny.
or something, aren't they?
Yeah, something like that. The messages are different, aren't they?
A lot of them are like emojis or something. It's love
Yeah,
hearts
you
from
get
the
like
21st
winky
century.
faces and stuff on them now. They're not what they were when I were a lad.
Palmer violets were one of my
It's
favourites.
the Werthers, it's bringing out the old man in me. When I were a lad. That's it,
nice.
guys. That's
I like that.
that's the best of the English. I guess at some point we might do Scottish, Welsh, and Irish. But for now, Ocean's going to keep eating sweets. And she's gonna,
I'm going to drink some of your vodka.
and we're going to drive across Europe and find more sweets for Ocean to eat. That's how I'm going to keep her quiet in the van. What could go wrong? A 2,000 plus mile journey and a kid that wants to eat sweets all the way. Yeah, well, thanks to all the guests again. I'm not going to rename you all. Everybody knows who you are. You're returning guests.
Thanks for having us, Craig.
Yeah, thank
Good
you.
fun.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you to the star of the show, Ocean Brooks from Kiddie Vike Cooks. Tune in soon when she'll do her best sweets of Europe. And I think we're going to do a competition after that one as well. We're going to save up all the best sweets and give them away as a prize. We're not sure how yet.
Yeah.
There's going to be some way we're going to ship them. to
Post them
someone.
home to yourself, then you can't eat them.
I can imagine how that goes, Ocean reading out. And the winner is Ocean Brooks.
That's me.
That's me.
Just like the song.
Ocean, now to finish, you need to do your song.
Shall we all do it? Shall we all do it together?
Got it.
I'll do it if Ocean does it.
Kiddie Vike Cooks with Ocean Brooks. Kiddie Vike Cooks with Ocean Brooks. Kiddie Vike Cooks with Ocean Brooks.
That's me.
Hey!
This has been Willow Like It, and I'll see you whenever the next one is. I don't know. I'm confused. Too many sweets. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.